Okay. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I think it's recording. Yes, start recording. So this platform is all about being able to encourage these vehicles for business and entrepreneurship, to encourage social entrepreneurship and social enterprise in my community of Brightwood, Martinvale, Brightwood in Indianapolis. So this is about the empowerment of the community. It's about people able to skills that they can get and services that they can get from us here, different business owners, and it is about them being able to leverage the community to envision what you want for your community, and then how does your business meet the needs of that vision? Like, how can you develop a business in your community that really makes a difference right where you live? Like, so it's more social entrepreneurship, it's social enterprise minded. I love network marketing. I did a live this morning and I read off a statistic about how um, the average network marketeer can make $131,000 to $187,000 a year. That's an average of people who really put in the effort and the time and treat network marketing like a real business. And so I want people to have an opportunity to be a part of H&P, be a part of what um, Kurt and Emily do and everything that Diva does. That's why Maria's here to talk to us about LegalShield. So Maria, just so you know, we record these and then the goal for these will be to kind of like edit them and chop them up and use them for content in the community. So people are going to see it whether they're here or not. They're still going to get the benefit of the video. They're still going to see it. And I'm just proud. I'm very, very proud to be able to do this in my community, to be given the space and today really pushed my commitment. Today I was just going to be like, oh my God, I just need to cancel. I'm overwhelmed. I'm tired. My son had to school dance. I'm feeling some type of way. So I'm in that, sometimes as entrepreneurs that we can experience that feast and famine. And so this famine time for me. And so I'm really using the tools of my own coaching program to really generate myself and have a different kind of conversation with myself about, well, what is feast and famine in a business? Can't I create something else for my business? Can I just create all the time abundance for my business so that even if it is what we call a famine season, I don't have to experience it like a famine season. I can experience it still from a place of abundance and just be myself, and then let the ideas come to me or spirit speak to me, whatever your faith or beliefs are. For me, it is to listen to the spirit, which is the same thing as myself, the same thing as my inner being, and to be able to really get still, get quiet, and really be able to listen and hear, and then be able to move based on inspired action. And so we are here today. We are here today, and this is great because I really experienced myself as being commitment, right? It's being commitment. And so we are here today and be using this content to create yet another week full of resources, community economic development conversations, and empowerment around business, sharing all about the Happy Neighborhood Project and everything that each one of us do. So I am Sharita Lacey. I facilitate a process of holistic transformation. The name of my company is called Healthy Response Solutions. And right now, my brand is under my name. So it's SharitaLacey.com. And that will pretty much take you everywhere you need to go inside of my own little ecosystem, my little world. My name is spelled just like it is here on the Zoom. It's SHEREETA. LACY, so you can find me on Facebook and you can also find me on Instagram. I don't have any funny spellings like, Sharita getting it in Lacey or anything like that. It's just Sharita Lacey. And my website is SharitaLacey.com. There you can find my free downloadable ebook, which is about getting out of the emotional trap. And it gives you the ways that you can start each and every day from right there in your bed. I was really glad to hear that Denise also has something just like that. And we are going to start with her. Hold on 1 second. We're going to admit. There we go. We are going to start with Denise. I just adore you, Diva. And so please tell the people who you are, what you're doing here. Introduce Maria. And then, Maria, we're going to have you give your spiel after everybody goes around. Is that okay? Okay, awesome. So we will start with the diva. Tell us who you are and what's going on in your world and what can you offer to the people.
So I'm called Diva for two reasons. My name happens to be Denise Vargas, so the first two letters of my first name and my last name equals Diva. But even though, yeah, I could be a little bit of a diva sometimes, in reality, it's also for dream every day and visualize always. Because I truly believe that what you focus on, you will be able to manifest. And I know that sometimes people, hear all these words and they're like, oh, those are all woo woo words. But it really does happen. And a quick story about that is that I wanted to drive since I was 18, but with my disability, the particular one that I have, there was really no hand controls available at the time. And then a few years later, I found something, and but it was very expensive. And so I would always go back to the same resource, ask them over. It was a government agency who would pay for the equipment um, if you qualify. So the problem was that the equipment was very expensive, too expensive. Every year I would go, and they would say, "Sorry, we can't afford it. Sorry, it's too expensive. Sorry." So that happened for 9 years because you know I don't give up. I really want it. So I continue and continue. On the 10th year, someone else was in office. That person, once I told her about all this cool stuff, she's like, "Oh wow, yeah, let's try it." And then I was able to drive. So the fact is that even if it doesn't happen overnight, over a year's time, the fact is that if you focus on it, you will make it happen. And so there you go. You also have to live creatively, which is why I named my company Live Creatively. Thank you so much for that. Now I want to
Love
welcome
it.
one of my dear, dear, dear friends, sister really, and we've been knowing each other now for let's say about 4 years. Yeah. So we met networking. So hey, networking, you never know what's going to happen, right? You can for business partners, friendships,
Right.
there's so many things, right? I even know of a couple that met networking and now are married. So you just never know. So Maria Galicia,
I'm here for it.
uh, you know, take it away. Let them know all your awesomeness. And yeah,
Thank you very much, Denise. You're such an inspiration, and I've been a total blessing to get to know you
Welcome, welcome.
over the.
No,
Thank you.
I said welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, welcome. Please share who you are, your company name, and then we're going to go around. And then I want you to just take it away. We're just going to give you the floor for about 20 minutes, give your spiel. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions. Right now, just go ahead and introduce yourself, who you're with, and then we're going to go around.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Maria Galicia. And my business is Legal Shield and ID Shield. I'm an independent associate of a 50-year-old company. Thank you very much.
Beautiful legacy company. I love it. Rudy.
Hey everybody, so I'm Rudy Gargioni. I'm with World Financial Group. I call myself a money mechanic because I feel like money and cars are kind of similar. We both know how they basically work, but when we pop the hood and look at insides, things can get really frightening. My tagline is finance, not an F word, because people need to talk about money too.
Yes. Ashe. Emily Gomer. What's going on with you, sister friend?
Yeah, you've been busy with being a virtual assistant, podcast assistant. So if anybody is interested in being on a podcast or needing virtual assistant help, to let me know. So.
And will do. I want to be on the podcast real bad.
Okay.
I need to get set up. Emily can scold us. Wonderful. Thank you. How do people reach you for your VA services, Emily? Did you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I can put it in the chat for everybody.
Okay. And I see this lovely gentleman in the corner, John Crumlin. Who do we have here?
Oh my.
Are you there with us, son? Okay.
I am a guest of Super Diva.
There's Karen.
She is one of my best friends on the planet. We literally text and every day and talk several times a week. So I'm here in support of her, and she and I collaborate on a number of things. And for myself, name of my company is Creative Common Associates. I'm a certified health and wellness consultant and educator. And I bring together the two worlds of fitness and nutrition. Everything on my website is all natural, all organic, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher, and rated as a food, which is a higher designation than supplements. So there's no problem with age, pregnancy, interaction with any medications. Additionally, on the fitness side, I teach the simple three-legged stool model of flexibility, strength, and endurance. You have to do all three in order to be fit. So many people come to me and say, well, I work out so that I can eat anything I want. Well, that's not how it works. And you have to do all three of those components in order to be fit and physiologically sound. So that's what I mainly do, but I'm also involved in a number of things through the H&P organization. I'm very familiar with most of the people here. Only I've met Maria a couple of times, but I'm most familiar with everybody else that's on here. So I won't take it up any more of your time. Maria is the star of the show this evening, I understand. So let's get on with the show.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Don. I will say this one thing. I love how, so I was able to begin to heal my body and mind through functional medicine. And I'm really grateful for your work, and we do it on point time. But it really tickles me when people say, oh, I poop every day. I poop every day. And it's like, okay. That doesn't necessarily mean it's better than not, but it doesn't necessarily, that's not necessarily the litmus for health, but we're glad you're going. So I
would put everybody to sleep if I went into all of the science of it's involved with.
We'll have a one-on-one. I'm all about it. I'm here for it. I watch documentaries ad infinitum. I love it. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. So Spirits of the Game Foundation. Who is this with the cool logo?
That's my other device.
You know what, Kurt? You will never trick me like that.
Well, Emily Gomer gave me a Zoom call, and she's able to call both of my devices. So I figured, what the heck? I'll answer both of them. So
I love it. I'm totally.
Here we are. Me and myself.
Me, myself, and Irene. Now, what about your business? Please tell us what you do with disabled vets or veterans, your podcast, and all things Captain Kurt.
All right. I'm pleased, proud, and privileged to be an ambassador of Project Die Hard, which is based out of Paducah, Kentucky. And we have a forward operating base, Rush, out of Makanda, Illinois. And so this property with a great facility is set up to serve people every day. And we are growing our resource accumulation to be able to convert this day facility into an overnight facility for veterans and their families. So the concept is we want to be able to house veterans and their families for whether it's one night or a whole year long. And that's what we're endeavoring. But right now we are available for day programs, and all of this in our mission to address veteran suicide by spreading hope to veterans. And we have our Mission Monday podcast that we have featured. I believe, Don, you were on Mission Monday with us already, right? Feels like it was.
Yes, I have been blessed to be a participant, and you and Emily and the crew do an absolutely fantastic job. And thank you very much for letting me grace your airwaves.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back sometime soon. Maybe we'll pick a May Monday and get you back on.
I would love to do that. No problem, sir.
All right.
So what becomes available when you network? Get yourself out there.
So I got about 12 other stories to tell, but like Don said, I think we're here to hear Maria's story, maybe.
We are going to listen to Maria. So I am very familiar with LegalShield. I was first familiar with LegalShield. When I had my first baby, which was 29, it would be 29 years ago this year. So 29 years ago is when I first ever heard of prepaid legal. I thought it was a great concept then. I know some attorney friends of mine that still bought into prepaid legal, even though they were lawyers. It is one of the best business concepts I have ever seen developed. It is extraordinary. I love what they do with the dark web, with LegalShield, no, ID Shield, with ID Shield, and all of the services that are available, especially not just for yourself, but for your business. And if you've ever had to be in a particular, area neighborhood, I was reading a statistic this morning about how people that had lower income were 20% more likely to have to deal with high crime in their neighborhood. And so just when you deal with that fact alone, and there's all kinds of reasons that people get into crime, from either having a drug problem. Most of the problems that exist within a few blocks. Okay, so you're talking about a city, and you might have 6 blocks, 6-mile radius, get 90% of the resources, right, because of the crime. Now, why do I mention that next to LegalShield? Because people are always like, oh, we need to get some money together because so-and-so needs a lawyer. We got to get some money together because so-and-so needs a lawyer. Well, you know what? For one thing, maybe if you had a LegalShield business on the front end, you might not need a lawyer because you'd be making money in your business. You might not be into certain types of crime. I've never seen better lawyers than people who have been locked up, or they can tell you everything about it. No, you need to file case so-and-so and go down and see the judge. So for me, I love LegalShield because it is a paradigm shift. You can go from having to be the one on the other side of it, needing the lawyer all the time, to utilizing the lawyer to take care of affairs that are relative to your business. There are a lot of people that I know that are have micro businesses in the community, whether it's braiding hair or whatever. And when you really want to build a business, you need a lawyer, or you find yourself. I had to deal with my HOA. I needed a lawyer to do a power of attorney for me before. I used LegalShield for all of those things. So I want to give a wonderful welcome to Maria, and please tell us more about how you got into the business. I'm going to ask you all kinds of questions while you're talking so that we can have a really good recording and continue to use this forever and ever and ever. So thank you so much for being here. I mention these things like this because I have these conversations inside of a context for community economic development, right? And for empowering people inside their community to use business as social enterprise as a way to make a difference in the community and create community economic development, be responsible for our own community economic development where we live. And I think that network marketing, and particularly LegalShield, Juice Plus, other legacy companies are fantastic ways to do that. Thank you for being here, and 100% take it away, Maria.
Thank you so much, Sharita. And wow, you totally blew me away. I'm surprised we had not met each other earlier into the Happy Neighborhood Project. It's a phenomenal place to network for like-minded individuals like yourself and everyone else on the Zoom. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon. As I know most of you, but for those that I haven't met for the first time, including Sharita, my background, I spent it in corporate America. And I knew early on in corporate America, technical project management specifically, that wasn't the end for me. I mean, I liked what I did, but it didn't make my heart sing, and I didn't feel that I was making a real difference in my community. I'm first generation Mexican American, and my parents worked really, really hard, for a better life here. And growing up in low income project-like communities, I saw the indifference, right, or not having the access, right, from our Black and Brown communities, and even those that were Caucasian, just because of where we lived, right, we were treated differently, right, either whether it was by law enforcement or just older adults, right, that I was wanting the benefit of the doubt that didn't know any better, right, than to treat people like human beings, right? And so I think that instilled it in me early on in my life, the need for folks that don't have a voice, right? Or even in growing up, right? Understanding that without access, if you don't know your rights, you don't have any, right? And so in our communities, whether low income or any community for that matter, um, to me, what's written on the Supreme Court justice, right, is equal access for all under the law. But that's not really a reality, because the truth is, if you can't afford it, right, you do not have that same right. And so when I found Legal Shield, or I should say Legal Shield found me, I had a family. I was a young mom of young kids, and when I saw the opportunity to earn additional income and supplement my income, I thought, I'm going to tell people about this anyway, right? And especially in my communities, Hispanic folks, everybody, right? I was going to share it with everybody. I wanted to make sure that they knew that there was a resource in place, that when they need it, whether it was now or later on down the way, that they knew Legal Shield existed, right? Because otherwise, you're asking the aunt, the uncle, right? As Sharita says, some people have become very versed in the legal system, right? Because they've been involved in it. But really, we want to be able to be well informed, make good decisions. I always like to say it's better to be proactive than reactive. And at least in my communities and in our household, right, we were always reactive to what was happening at the time, as opposed to being prepared, right? And so we did not grow up saying, "Hey, call your attorney. Let's see what they tell you," right? What advice and guidance do they have for you, right? And so, um, early on, or in my childhood, knowing that my mom had a legal situation, right, where we were too young as English speakers to help her, right, because she mainly spoke Spanish, is to be able to say, hey, there might be a resource out there. Let's look up, let's find out, right? And so we went the traditional route. And that wasn't very promising, right? That did not give the best results, and so that also had me thinking, just as an adult, right? Had we had the access that we have available to us now with Legal Shield, maybe that situation could have been a lot different, right? And so I started with the company now 15 years, going on my 16th year. And it's just been an incredible journey, again, because not only do I feel good about empowering people with our services, but also with the opportunity, because a lot of people look good, smell good, but they're hurting at a different level, right? Whether it's time
Right.
that they don't have, right, because they're working 8 to 5, right, or they don't have residual income in their life, right, to be able to one day say, hey, I'd like to really um, take advantage of the fruit of my labor here and just relax, or life events. There's been so many people that I've met networking, where they've had a tragic life event, whether it's themselves, a health situation, right, or their family, their parents, right, being able to take care of your parents, or from parents to children, right? Just a lot of tragic events where, if you do not have income coming in, can really be a tough burden, right? You're already going through the situation, but on top of it, the financial burden of it could just really be damaging, right, to an entire house when you don't have that in place. And so we teach people, right? I really like to say I'm in the education business, right? Because most people that I speak to don't know about Legal Shield. They never heard about it. They're like, "What is this? Is that really even real? What type of attorneys can you get for $30 a month? Are they, have they passed the bar? Are they at the bar? We have that ongoing joke, because people really, we have to justify how we're able to provide such an incredible service for such an economical cost, right? At $30 for our family plan. But as Sharita mentioned, the heart and soul, I think, of our communities are small business owners. Whether you're a brick and mortar business, or have a great, health and wellness company, a coaching company, these are all services that our communities really need. But what happens when they're hit with a lawsuit, right? What happens when they have legal questions about their business, right? They don't have the deep pockets that big corporations have, right, to have attorneys on retainer. And so our small business communities can really benefit from having access, just like they would a good accountant, a good a good bookkeeper, you need a good attorney on your side, right? And so again, our subscription-based model is really something that has put us in the 21st century, right? Because the legal system, as we all know, is one of the oldest systems that's existed, but there's been no changes, right? It just gets more expensive and more unaccessible, right? And so LegalShield came around now in its 53rd, going into its 54th year in existence. We really revolutionized the model of access by creating a subscription-based model, right? We're all familiar with subscriptions, right, Sharita? That's like
Absolutely.
everything of the world, right? And so having the buying power of over 4.8 million lives throughout the United States enables LegalShield to operate at such an affordable rate. And so we're all buying into it, right? And so it just makes it affordable to retain the best of the best law firms nationwide for everyone. And so that was a mouthful. I'll stop there. And so, Sharita, if there was a specific question or anything I can help answer, would love to.
There was something I wanted to read earlier, and now I had it all pulled up and ready to go, and now I cannot find it. But it was basically about, it was a list of the jobs that are going out, jobs that are fading out. And we'll go back to that. So about like income, and when people think about doing the opportunity, a lot of times people feel like, well, I work at such and such a place. I don't have a lot of time. That was always my thing. I don't have time. So what do you say about time? Like, how much time do you spend in doing like the business?
All right. Well,
Like,
I
do you
love
do
talking.
time?
I do now. I love talking to busy people because, as you all know, you're all busy. You get things done. For some reason, we
Yes.
all have 24 hours in a day, but busy people seem to just be able to do so many things within those 24 hours. And so, really, it's being able to. I'm going to mess up the word car when you put things in time blocks, right? So busy people, for instance, I have a number of I work with that have full-time careers, like insurance people, right? People in the real estate industry, or even, a single parent, right? Is that when your dreams and goals, right, are to do X, right? We talk about it, right? What do you want? Not what I want, right? And so a busy person says, hey, Maria, I only have, maybe 5 hours a week to dedicate to this. What could I do in those 5 hours? And so we have a system in place, right? That number one shows you how you can do that, get that done, right? If you have a particular income that you're looking for, let's say $500 a month, extra to maybe pay a car payment or whatnot, then we show you this is what it would take, right? And based on the hours that you have available, this is what you need to do. And so the system is the same for all. So whether you're a stay-at-home mom or an insurance agent, right? We have a system that we plug our team members in, so that it's also duplicatable, right? If it's hard to do, right, or if you need to, just know everything about everything, we're gonna lose people, right? And so we have a system that helps you do that and keep it exciting, right? Because that's another thing too, right? You want to the work and effort that you do, you want to be compensated nicely for it, right? And so our compensation plan is, in my opinion, very lucrative, right? And being able to go up our compensation plan without having a boss, right, or having quotas, and participating in the residual income piece of it, right? Because the word residual income, I think, gets thrown around a lot, right? As far as being able to earn that. In my 15 years, it became really real to me in 2021 when my mom was out of the country, got ill, and unfortunately passed away. I had to leave the country to go there, and so that was in December. I probably worked my LegalShield business that first week. And then I left. And so the remaining of the week, I got regular deposits of the residual income from my book of business that I had created back 14, 15 years ago, right? And so I was able to get those regular deposits from that book of business. And so I was blown away. It was the first time that I had seen regular deposits, of my book of business that I created. And so it is real, right? And our company has been around as long as it has, and there's still people that unfortunately, are no longer with us, that their families now get to benefit from the work that their loved ones did, because it's a willable book of business that you can actually give, put in a will, whatever.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes, yeah. So for me, I'll work hard for me, but for my family, right? We'll do anything, right? And so that's what's really powerful for me and for folks that are looking to create not only short-term income for their needs right now, but long-term, for their legacy, whatever that is to them, right? But yes, for me, it was important to have something in place for my kids, for my family.
Beautiful. And then do they do tell them thank you? Did you tell them thank you? So just like, and this is a case in point, okay, why I said to highlight to have, the flexibility, right? Because my son was at a school dance. I got someone to bring him here to the building where I was at. And now I can be with you, but still walk to the door, get my kid. You know what I mean? It's just that flexibility that being an entrepreneur provides to you. I don't have to ask somebody when I need to take a break, or I don't have to take out PTO time or any of those things. One of the things, though, and I'm going to marry this a little bit with Rudy's service, right? And I'm getting into life insurance. Rudy's been in it for a while, knows all about it. So one of the things I was talking about earlier in my live was about like encouraging people to like, let's do network marketing together and then take our money and put it into life insurance. So that we can front load like IUL policies and all these other things I'm learning about 401ks and other things. So when you make money in LegalShield, do you then have the support, because it is a legal service? Do you then feel like you have the support to know what to do with the money that you make? Or do you feel like there's to be enough relationship here between how we build relationships with others, even inside of that? So like, it looks like how does a person in network marketing, so how person in LegalShield, they take their money, how do they take that money and then still be able to grow it? Like I know I was able to create like a will with my LegalShield service for my mother, right? But then everything that I'm also learning about how to set up things financially, do you get to use your attorneys in-house? Do they have people that specialize in setting up finances? Or do you still need somebody like me and Rudy to help you out when it comes to that? I'm just curious.
Yes, no, we do. We do need someone like you and Rudy, and I've been blessed within our company as well. Professionals like yourself are attracted to our business because they really do go hand in hand, right? And so through my LegalShield relationships with colleagues, that they've met people in their networking, right, that have brought people to our events to say, hey, now that you're making making money, right, and are profitable, how do you keep it, right, and then how do you make it work for you? And so definitely it's a great partnership, and that's how I learned early on about policies, life insurance policies, that really do create a legacy for your family, right? Or that you can tap into for a business, for a house, for a life event, right? To be able to pull it tax free, And so that's where I learned about it, right? They brought someone in one occasion, right? Whether or not she's in LegalShield, I don't even know, but it just opened my eyes, right, to the education piece. I know a lot of your business is educating, individuals about plans that they didn't know exist, but you can create wealth, and so luckily one of my careers was in life insurance business. I was just part of the office staff, that I got to learn about it. I was very young at the time, but I got to learn, and I caught the importance of it though, working there. So I had a little bit of leverage on that point, but there's just so much in that world, right, that people need to know about. right? And so definitely.
But I love how you said how the two can go together, because that's what
Yeah.
I see. And I love what you said about community access. So can you say more about, like, if I'm an associate with Legal Shield, can I then take my business and do like different events, different things in my community with my business? Can you name some things maybe that you've done? You really like what you've been able to do with your business that really impacted your community, like an event or other things that you've been able to do with your business?
Absolutely. And so part of our subscription-based model, our service is wills. And so we do will seminars. It's part of our community. And so I partnered up with other teammates here in the area. And so we'll do will seminars. There's a division of our company called Ladies of Justice, which I love, and that empowers women because, yes, there's women from all walks of life, from stay at home moms or maybe retirees, someone just getting into the workforce, right? That feel more comfortable around women, right? And so we do a monthly event for women. Men are welcome too, right? But it really is to empower women because, even being in the workforce, why are women still getting paid less than men, right? And so in this community, in this environment, we're all treated the same, but we do an emphasis on women and empowering them to get the support and help in our Ladies of Justice initiative. Another one is Legal Shield in Espanol. And so I am bilingual and I host a monthly information seminar for our Spanish speaking folks, right? And so we have access to that, and I'm leading that initiative, which is really near and dear to my heart, being of Hispanic descent, to have this information center information in Spanish. So I help post that too. So we do identity theft seminars. So I didn't even talk about identity theft, but you alluded to it. It's a real thing. Yeah.
So I have a question about ID Shield. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah. So ID Shield is the other one, and so I'm able to take our services into small businesses as an employee benefit. And so it's really important for small business owners, right, that want to keep and retain good employees, for those that have them, by offering them benefits, right? That's a lot of the times you'll hear people, I only stay because of the benefits, right? Medical and dental is super important, but how about just a life, something that can help you with everyday life events, right? And so Legal Shield an ID Shield is something that I go into small businesses and offer as an employee benefit. And so just being able to update them on the recent things, because what our company does is look at what's going on in the world, right? With data breaches to the dark web to protecting your devices with additional VPN and partnering with Trend Micro, which is a huge international company that does cybersecurity, being able to add it to our services to give just that extra level of protection, because no company can prevent identity theft from happening, right? But we can certainly help mitigate and alert you and then give you licensed investigators to help you every step of the way until the situation is resolved, which is huge. So you mentioned you had a question about ID Shield.
I do. So when a person wants to get ID Shield, but then I had another question. Hold on a second. It's so good. And I'm going to say this. The upline is everything, right? When you have somebody that can speak passionately about what they do and they're eloquent with it and it really touches you and you really, from that place, you really see what's possible. So I really appreciate that. I didn't know that about the Ladies of Justice. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. So I would like to connect you to, there's a Mexican consulate here in Indianapolis, and there's also a Hispanic center here in Indianapolis. So I would love to connect you to those two places and maybe set something up where even if you're, we can still have the same thing and have it here in the Indianapolis community. Now I'm hot. And have it here in the Indianapolis community. That was the one thing I was going to say. My question about ID Shield is, you kind of answered it because you said they give you an investigator to help you resolve it. So I had two things come up on mine. They found the use of my social security number, and they found the use of something else. It was my social security number and something else. So what do you do in that event? Like, how does a person work with the investigator? And then we're gonna let you just say some closeout things. But when you work with an investigator, how do they help resolve that? Like, what makes it worth paying for other than just knowing?
Right. So all of our members have a toll-free number or through the app, because we have app for both the legal and ID Shield. You open your app, you tap it, right? If you got a notification in your case, you were alerted that your Social Security was compromised, your number, we tap the app or we call the toll-free number and we say, hey, that what's going on, this wasn't me, or, I've been alerted, right? And so then they actively will go into the data, the systems that they have access to, right? And what's neat about the specialist is, right, if a thief took the time to steal your information, right, it only makes sense to have a professional do it. And so if you have to talk to different, especially if it's out of the state, right, different states, Social Security Administration offices or whatnot, all right, this licensed investigator has the training and the know-how to where to go look to find it, right? And so our company is the only company that I'm aware of, I could be wrong, but that I'm aware of, that has a limited power of attorney, has us, the members, sign a limited power of attorney if you want to, right? You don't have to, but that allows them the ability to go and speak to all of the different places they may need to, right? It's a Social Security Administration office, the local sheriff, police, whatever it may be, so they can work on your behalf while you're busy at work or in your business. And so that limited power of attorney allows the private licensed investigators to go in for you until the issue is resolved. And they'll keep you obviously updated of what they find until the issue is resolved. So that's huge, right? It's not like, your 8 hours are up, now go do it on your own, right? No, it's until the issue is resolved, which is
That's excellent. That is excellent. And I have heard things about so identity theft things can happen in all kinds of ways, but I know they made a movie about it a long time ago. They always put stuff in the movies to show us like what's coming, right?
Yeah.
But there's a movie with Sandra Bullock called The Net. And they took her whole identity, and she had a very difficult time proving that she was who she said she was. But all kinds of nasty things can happen with identity theft. I think it is very important to be able to protect yourself with something like that. And I know that there's some other places that have it, but I don't know what they do to remedy it other than just to let you know. I don't know how they remedy that. I think that Alan has a question. Do you have a question for Maria?
Actually, I want to say, hey, Maria, I see I was invited by Diva. I just want to let you know, I'm going to go ahead and put myself out there. I'm a proud veteran of this great country. And as of March 1st of this year, my identity was stolen. And Monday, I am going to be talking to the law firm out here in California. I've already had several people call me, including today, and asked me, did I send something on Facebook? I said, no, that wasn't me. I have a weird sense of humor. I grew up in Compton, so I served in the military. I said, okay, I'm the wrong person who stole the identity because now we're going to go play, and I'm being nice. I almost became a paralegal, so I understand legal terms. I have a packet right here that I have to deal with because according to this individual, I own the place where I live. And I said, so I am the rent, I collect rent, and I'm living, how in the world? I thought I was in a dream zone. So the only thing is they don't know I have this thing called LegalShield. And let me pull up this phone here with this little app. Let's see here. I didn't pull it. Whoop, I didn't pull it.
So you actually have the service, Alan?
Huh?
You have the ID Shield and the LegalShield service actually?
Oh yeah, it's on my phone. I have I should have went through Diva, but I went through one of my old contacts I've known for a while. But I'm going to help Diva as far as I can, as much as I can. But I actually have the app on the phone. I don't know if you can see it. Where's the LegalShield app? Where's my favorite app? It's
This is
on
my
here.
favorite app.
Hey. It's right there. You can see it, the little in the corner.
I see it right there.
Huh?
I see it.
Okay, so to each one of you wannabe Legal Shield people, jump in on time because Maria's got your back, and so did Diva, and I'm gonna start talking now.
Thank you so much, Alan. That was a really great acknowledgement, and I really appreciate it. Well, I appreciate you so much, Maria. We are going to let some folks begin to share and open up the floor for any questions that anybody might have for you. I love collaborating, and just like as quickly as you shared, I thought about like the Mexican consulate that's here, the Hispanic Center that's here, and immediately there's two events that I can think of right off the bat that I know that we could do that will really make a difference in the community. But you better believe I'll be sure to sign up again before that happens. And so, but yeah, I'm all about it. But I do think it's so important. Like in business, you absolutely need a lawyer. There's times that, I'll have a just having a question. I just had questions, I had bought a condo after I closed, dealing with my HOA. I was going through a divorce at the time when I bought my place. So I bought it in my mom's name so that I didn't have to go through any, just stuff when I wanted to get my divorce to go through. I didn't want to have to split any assets or anything like that. So I bought it in my mom's name. And so that put me in a position though, that now I really needed Legal Shield. I needed a power of attorney. I needed, when the water came up in the basement, they're not fixing things properly. I need to be able to say, I'm going to call my lawyer. I'm going to have my lawyer send you a letter. So it just makes such a big difference to have a peace of mind of knowing that not only do I have an attorney that I can call just for legal advice, if I had any kind of problem at all, knowing that I can call Okun and Hintermeister, that's who it is in Indianapolis, then it just gives me a lot of peace of mind. Yeah, it gives me a lot of peace of mind. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Diva, for inviting her. Is there anything that either one of you would like to say before we let everybody else speak to close out?
Well, I just want to say again, thank you for hosting this for us, for the youth that, a lot of times when we started our own businesses, it's usually out of working from somewhere else or not being, in my case, not being able to find something that suited me and my needs, the flexibility that I needed. So helping the youth really understand that you can be in business for yourself at a young age. You don't need to wait until you're, 30, 40, 50. So yeah, thank you for hosting this and letting everyone know that you can do this. Thank you, Maria.
That's right. Thank you. I just want to say really quickly, yes, thank you, Sharita, for having this platform, especially for our younger generations. You are our future. I know that seems cliche, but you are. And having entrepreneurs like everyone on this call, because, not everything is for everybody, right? But there's certainly, when there's a system in place, there's mentors to help you learn from them, right? The ability to learn from people that have been there, done that have the resources, that know who to connect you with is invaluable. If
Right.
at 18, 19 years old, someone, would have told me, hey, Maria, there's a better way, or there is a different way than your traditional way. Nothing against the traditional way of working and getting a job. I think you should start there, right? But there's definitely so many different businesses, such as Legal Shield, such as all these other businesses that we heard about and we'll hear about here on this call, that pay attention, right? It's
Right.
Information is free, not paying attention can cost you a fortune. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Maria. And Rudy's got his hand up.
Oh, I got 2 cents to throw into this. This is a
Please,
great conversation. Also, I have Legal Shield myself, and they came in handy when I had some issues with a car purchase. I'm a car guy. Everybody knows this by now. Also, I'm
Yes.
I love what you guys said about the education and empowerment piece. I'll throw this in here. We have, with my company, we have How Money Works Books Women's Edition, helping them understand some of the challenges they'll face throughout the years. Also, we have a lot of content in Spanish too. I'm thinking we should definitely all talk about doing an event together. I think that'd be utterly amazing.
Yeah,
Definitely
I agree.
do that. And yeah, let's connect, Maria. And Sharita, I did send you a connection request on LinkedIn. I would love to connect with both you guys because I think there's some really cool educational stuff we could do in our
Yes.
respective spaces. I'm really excited to explore that.
Me too. I love it. And I'll look for your thing on. I'll look for your connection on LinkedIn for sure. Thank you so much, Rudy. Thank you so
Man,
much.
this is a great event. I'm so glad I was able to make it.
Thank you. Me too. I'm glad that you're here. And I want to hear from, say, is it Debbie? I need my glasses on, Debbie. It ain't because I can't read. Debbie Miller. Are you still there with us, Debbie?
It's Miller time.
Miller
Oh, can't hear you.
There you go. Oh, no, we still can't hear you. Oh, what's going on? She's not muted. I don't know what's going on. Let's see.
It might be something on her end. She'll get it. She's very technical.
Yeah.
Is it happy anniversary? Is that what we're wishing you? It's like anniversary in the background.
Oh, neat. Oh, Debbie Miller, you're with LegalShield too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something's happening where we can't hear you, Debbie.
Yeah. No sound, Debbie.
Mm. Dang.
She's got the LegalShield program that says, don't say anything. You're a lot better off.
Install Miranda rights.
Well, thank you for everything you do, Debbie. Oh my God.
So maybe you can tell us about Debbie real quick, Maria.
I met Debbie through the Happy Neighborhood Project, and we're connected, I believe, on LinkedIn. So I see her put up posts, and she's just an advocate like myself, wanting to spread the word about LegalShield. And so thank you, Debbie, for everything that you're doing. I believe you're out in the East Coast, Midwest,
Kansas.
no, Kansas. Okay, yeah.
Kansas. Okay, beautiful.
And she even says the state right. When she introduced herself, she's from Missouri.
That's all right.
Missouri. I love it. I will always remember to say Missouri and not Missouri. Don, where are you at? You still there, Mr. Crumlin?
He doesn't even have his audio connected. He's just
Yeah.
video connected.
Yeah, Mr. Crumlin is out in California.
He's in California. Oh, okay, yeah, his audio.
Oh, yes, I believe, yeah, in the Sacramento area.
Oh man, how lovely! I love California. Well, every part except, I like Southern California. I'm not a big fan of the Bay Area. It's chilly, and I feel like California should be warm everywhere. Well, we are just about at the end. Does anybody have any questions? Anything they want to say? Emily, you got anything for us? Kurt, you got anything for us before we wrap up?
Well, I would say that I tend to point out about prepaid legal services incorporated with LegalShield and ID Shield and the business of it with access as we're talking about. And as I go out into the world as a disability ally, and you look at the direct selling industry, prepaid legal services, PPLSI, is at the top of the list in terms of involvement with the disability community. It might have something to do with being in legal services and, with that ID Shield thing, maybe people with disabilities are really on top of that more than most or whatever it is, but I give them a lot of credit because that's what I seek to do with other direct selling companies, is to get the involvement by people with disabilities elevated by 33 times more involvement. So I lean on Prepaid Legal Services, Inc. to show us the way.
I love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, I thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the support of the future, of the young people, of social enterprise, of understanding how important it is to connect people with real vehicles that they can make real money in and use that money to make a difference where they live every single day. Thank you for being a source of empowerment and appreciation and gratitude and acknowledgement. You all have an absolutely wonderful weekend. I will see you right back here next Friday. And Maria, we'll definitely do a one-on-one. I'll get with you on LinkedIn. I'll get your number from Diva. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. Thank you, Kurt.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Emily. Have a great one. Thank you so much, Rudy. Bye-bye.